Welcome all. In this video, we are going to see the characteristics and skills of a school counselor. A school counselor should possess certain characteristics to be successful in his or her profession. School counseling is a profession that necessitates a counselor to spend long hours not only with the students but also with the parents, teachers, administrators, and other stakeholders. School counselors are expected to facilitate students to overcome their educational, health, social, personal, and family problems. This session will enable the listeners to recognize the characteristics of a counselor and assess the important skills required to become an effective counselor. All the qualified persons cannot become an effective counselor. They need certain qualities and characteristics to be successful in the field of counseling. So, we are going to discuss about the qualities and characteristics that are required to become a school counselor. Professional qualities and also personal qualities. Coming on to the personal qualities, the counselor should give due respect to the individuality and dignity of the clients. He or she should understand that no two individual can be similar in their thought process and behavior. He or she should know the mindset of each and every client, their thought process and behavior. A counselor should be kind and sympathetic towards a client but should never get into an emotional connection with the clients. One should be gentle and assertive when dealing with clients, especially when sorting out corrective measures. A person's appearance and approach will be the first impression which a client will get. So, a counselor should ensure that he is dignified in his behaviors and appearance. He or she should have emotional self-regulation and self-control, should not reveal their own personal anger, impatience and frustrations at any situation. He should have this capacity to use humor in the process but should keep in mind that they can laugh with the clients but never laugh at them. Professional qualities, a counselor should be aware of the responsibility of the formal profession of counseling. He or she must know the goals of counseling. He or she must be familiar with various techniques of counseling process. An effective counselor needs to understand the client completely. He or she needs to build a true trust in the minds of the client. Last but the most important professional quality is that a counselor should be well versed in the process of counseling, its techniques, methods, and approaches. Essential skills to be possessed by a counselor. Apart from the qualifications and qualities, counselors should possess some basic skills to be effective in their profession. Communication skills. Counseling is all about interaction. So, obviously, counselors should possess outstanding communication skills, and counselors should have good listening skills and also have the ability to explain their ideas and thoughts to others clearly. So, in short, a counselor should possess excellent listening and language skills. Acceptance. Counseling is the process of helping others to come out of their problems. First and foremost, a counselor should be ready to accept the client in their own way. A counselor should never be judgmental about the clients. They need to be open in their thought to accept and understand the clients in their current situation. The counselor should be warm enough to make the client comfortable. Empathy. An effective counselor needs to be empathetic in all situations. Understanding other situation is an important aspect of counseling. Empathy is the quality to sense what other person is feeling. Empathy means not just understanding others, it is the ability to truly imagine oneself in other situations. The concern and empathy of a counselor should make the clients develop the confidence of being understood and also being accepted. problem solving skills. Problem solving does not mean that the counselor should solve all the problems of the client. It is the way a counselor could use his or her ability to help the client identify their own problems and enabling the client to find an appropriate solutions to the problems on their own. The counselor should motivate the client to convert their negative thought patterns and other harmful behaviors into a more constructive thoughts and behavior. Rapport building skills. Rapport building is the first step in counseling process. Counselors should have good interpersonal skills which will enable them to build a strong rapport with the clients and also maintain a warm relationship. Once they establish a good rapport, it is easy for a counselor to make the client open up with their problems. Good rapport also helps the smooth contact of the entire counseling process. Another important point in rapport building is that the counselor should not get carried away by the problems of the client and also avoid being distracted by their own personal problems or concerns during the session. Flexibility. Flexibility can be termed as the most key feature of a professional counselor. Counseling is a process of dealing with persons who are experiencing some stress in their life. One cannot expect such individuals to be perfect with their behavior. So, the counseling process should not be rigid. Flexibility is the ability to modify the way a counselor responds to the needs of the client. Counselor should be flexible in his or her approach to adapt to the needs of the clients. Counselors should not be rigid in the treatment of the clients. They should have the ability to modify the plan according to the client's situations and needs. Counselors need not stay rigid in fixed treatment path when the client needs a different approach. Self-awareness. Self-awareness means knowing one's own strengths and weaknesses. Self-awareness is the skill to look within oneself and identify his or her own psychological needs and desires. A counselor should possess the ability to assess her own positives and negatives so that he or she can prevent those qualities from interfering with the client's needs. This quality will ensure that the counselor does not get involved with the client personally and also see to that the personal issues of the counselor will not alter the process. Multicultural competency. Counseling is a process of dealing with people from different backgrounds. So a counselor should have the ability to handle different people with the different culture, language and locations. Multicultural competency is the ability to understand the clients regardless of their race, ethnicity, religious or political beliefs and socio-economic background. Management skills. As counseling is a systematic, organized process, a counselor should possess a number of organizational skills in the planning and execution of the process. Prioritizing and punctuality as the trademarks of the counselor. Excellent record keeping is an essential because all records must be treated in confidence and the counselor needs to be effective in note taking during the session. To conclude, a counselor needs to earn the necessary qualification to be a part of the professional counseling. He or she should possess certain desirable qualities and imbibe certain characteristics. A person should also hold various skills to be a professional counselor. Thank you.